किया गया।
You're live now. Yes. Modern technology. Let's see if this works.
हाँ, दिख रहा है लाइव।
दिख रहा है? अब तो दोनों दिख रहा है।
नहीं, आप ही दिख रहे।
मैं ही दिख रहा हूँ।
हम्म।
नमस्ते, नमस्ते, नमस्ते। गांव वालों जो भी आए हैं, all people who have been waiting for some time. Your fault you came on time. Yeah. Okay. We're good to go. बोगा क्या
या
बोलते
या
हैं? All right. So without further ado, I want you guys to welcome on the screen our guest for tonight. My childhood friend Kautuk Srivastav, yes.
Well, good to be here. Good to be here.
Let's see who we got here already in the chat. Jarna Pathak is come early. Sassy AF is. Yeah, what is Kautuk? You can tell me what the fuck is CFBR? I keep seeing it in our Cyrus stream also.
So I found this out 3 minutes ago from Boga himself, who said it is comment for better reach. So
Ooh, wow. Oh,
yeah, we're into the 21st century.
Actually, that's so heartwarming. CFBR. शुभांकर मुडे म्हणतायत पानिया साहेबांच्या विजय असो. साक्षात गुरुजी को सादर प्रणाम. क्या बात है. Dude, no matter how hard you try Indian, you end up starting a cult only.
Yeah, it's the most profitable thing, by the way. I would not be upset.
So today's special topic is first time ever in history of the world or current yuga. Philosophical meme reviews, because who else will do it if not us? A lot of people from academia come for my shows now, because where else will they go? No, they also need to laugh once in a while.
1 second, Punit. I think there's one echo in your
In my
thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Now it's fine. People are saying. Okay,
Okay,
take it. It's gone. Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of people who are into higher studies, researchers वगैरह आते हैं शो में, and because then I feel ये लोग और कहाँ जाएंगे ना? Which other stand-up show can they go to, which will not insult their intelligence? And I wish I could get more of them, but most of these people, they're not on social media at all, no, because they have shit to do. So I can't reach them.
Which is why I suspect they're coming only for your shows, because they're not getting marketed the other shows.
Okay, Rahul is saying hi to both of us. Muktak has retracted his messages. Wow, what could it be?
Has he retracted or has someone else retracted? That's the question.
I don't know how this works. Jamie, do we have super chat yet कि नहीं? We have super chat. अच्छा, पता नहीं. आते रहते हम लोग को ईमेल में पैसा कमाओ. कितना कमाने? Do you guys get super chats in your streams?
Yeah. We do.
And their questions usually, or they just want the name to be called out, like say my name?
No, it's usually questions. And like what we've realized is that the questions that demand the longest answers are always for the least money. It's an odd quirk of the universe.
अच्छा, तो मैक्सिमम ऐसा 400 रुपए दिया, बोलता है मालाचोल बोल के दिखा ऐसा तक मेरे को.
Meaning like that is a short thing, right? That you can get, but it's like here is $20. Can you explain the theory of relativity? And it's a whole. Tell us about your childhood traumas.
For $20.
But yeah, it's a fascinating time. Actually, I sometimes wonder, like if technology was around back in the day, you would see Newton and Einstein and everyone, shilling for super chats, right? It would happen.
Yeah.
100%, no?
Yeah.
ऐसा Michelangelo Twitch stream कर रहा है 20 रुपए में. Can you draw my girlfriend, please?
Hey, RC bitches, what's up? And they would get cancelled also, right? A lot of them are into so much debauchery and other.
100%.
They would get me too and shit, dude. Imagine.
No, that's the thing, right? Like, a lot of the stuff that people say is, his artistic temperament and all. It's just psychosis of some kind.
Dude, imagine people are calling for Lincoln to be cancelled for racism. And he's like, dude, he freed the slaves, dude, cut him some slack. Apart from the fact that he's dead already, like if you overlook that big factor.
He was cancelled by life.
Yeah.
Bro, back in the day, cancellation meant कोई तेरे थिएटर के व्यूइंग के टाइम आके तेरे को गोली मार देता था.
Yeah, I guess this is better. From the gallery, that too.
Yeah.
Like, all right, let's start. आज का शुभ मुहूर्त से शुरू करते हैं. First meme, but before that, you got anything to plug, dude? Are you doing anything recently apart from your podcast? You're doing 442, right? What else are you doing? You're doing
Right. So,
this.
yeah, 442 is the football podcast. Internet Said So is the Internet Said So podcast. And no, apart from that, it's been a quiet month show wise because I've been working on writing some stuff. So,
All right.
yeah.
I got shows in Mumbai this weekend and Bangalore next weekend, and then that's it. I end my year there at Christmas. So if you're in these two cities, do come. All three shows at three different places. Let's start. Sheesh, are we good to go?
I take the silence as a yes.
Yes, yes. पता नहीं जेमी क्या कर रहा है साथ में. So apparently, dude, I am also on Reddit now. Apparently,
You're what?
I'm on Reddit also. Reddit.
Like as a user or as a community?
I don't know. I've been told I'm there. Like I don't know what it means.
आज अपने रेडिट से भी आया है.
अच्छा, तेरा ही आवाज एको हो रहा है. तो दो डिवाइस है इसलिए. All right, let's start with the first meme. Here it goes. Can you guys see it? Yes.
Hilarious.
So
very funny.
For our audio listeners, this is a date.
No. If you're an audio listener, then like just come on YouTube, see the ad, and then see this whole thing because it just won't do justice. It just won't do justice. This is hilarious.
Could you describe this meme, dude?
To describe this meme is basically just one sentence, which is that this is the reason guys read books. Punit, how has that? Have you overcome this? Have you overcome this tendency of trying to appear smart, or do you still indulge yourself from time to time?
I'm not even aware of it, dude. I'm at that stage. I'm not even aware if I'm trying to act smart. And what has happened is because of YouTube, I know that audience is predominantly male across for me at least, and actually for most people also. Which is why I even talk about in my set, that this is largely a male pursuit, intellectual masturbation / philosophy. But do you think women are into philosophy as much as men are? I don't think so, dude.
Yeah, they are. Of course they are. It's just that, like, I think that, like, there is a type of guy who treats it like it's a competitive sport. Right, and like it's that thing, right, where it's not just enough to read philosophy or know anything for the sake of knowing it, but it is done so that you can dominate other people in conversations.
But you think because women also don't feel represented because across the ages it's been men doing this. So like,
yeah, I mean, there is
science is sexist. So is humanity is also sexist then?
100%, because like essentially it comes down to this, right? Like, like every day there is a new book that comes out about here are 50 women who were ignored in this branch of science or this branch of studies or this branch of, and so there's been contributions throughout. It's just that the recognition has not been given to them. So and that's what you realize, right? Like oftentimes the work you put in is not commensurate with the recognition you get, because recognition is the one thing that's not in your hands. It's in the hands of culture, history, zeitgeist, all of that,
and random chance. In fact, there is there's enough evidence to show that most discoveries that we know of are post-dated, which means there was a precursor to it or
Yeah.
something very similar by another person who did not go viral. So
In,
like Wallace and Darwin are the most
yeah, I was
popular
just gonna say
example,
that.
but
Yeah.
there's so many others also in
Yeah,
almost
it's
every field.
I think even the history of the steam engine and the light bulb and stuff like that had a
Yes,
lot of
yes,
people who were similarly
yeah,
in the same space.
yeah.
Dude, it's like, the more pop culture example is there was one year where Bollywood made 4 films on Bhagat Singh in the same year. So
Yeah,
who
yeah.
copied whom, who had the idea first does not matter.
Was any of them good also, dude? Those
One
movies.
was the Ajay
One,
Devgan one was
one
pretty
was
good.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
So he was nationalist before also.
Yeah. Arey, like that's the thing, right? So back then it was a biography. It wasn't the the history of the nation didn't rest upon its shoulders.
Yeah. Also, Bhagat Singh was left leaning, so
Which is a fun contradiction.
yeah. All right, next meme.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You are free. No, you're not. But you're in a
Hey,
hilarious.
what is this meme format? It's like, what is that guy on the left? I keep seeing him everywhere, like in meme language. Like, is he like a philosopher or what? Is he? Does he represent something?
I think he represents the enlightened person, the enlightened man. The superior man. Sorry, that's the correct word, not the enlightened one. The superior one.
A person who thinks he's superior, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but this is hilarious. You know what? There's a very funny anecdote about this philosopher called Diogenes. Okay, so Diogenes was a philosopher who basically he was called Diogenes the dog. Okay, and the reason he was called Diogenes the dog was because he believed in like he was a, what do you call it? He used to live in a barrel, and he had rejected most of society's trappings. Okay, so the thing about Diogenes was that he was a cynic and he had rejected most of these things, and he would do things that were counter to society. So, for example, he would masturbate in public. Okay, so when people asked him that, "Hey man, what are you doing? Why are you masturbating in public?" He said, this was his reply. He says that it's because if I could, I would rub my stomach to feel hungry, to satiate my hunger as well, but I can't.
Oh wow, so it's a pretty neat dick joke back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's a fun guy. Like, so basically, this guy, he rejected like the trappings of society to this point where Alexander the Great had heard of him. Okay, this is my favorite story. So Alexander the Great hears of him. He holds him in high regard, and he says, "You know what? I want to meet Diogenes." So he goes up to Diogenes. Diogenes is lying in his barrel. Okay, and it's a nice sunny day. And Alexander comes up to him and he stands over him and he says, "Diogenes, I'm Alexander the Great. I'm a huge fan. Okay, ask me for whatever. I will give it to you." And Diogenes said, "Can you please move out of the way because you're blocking the sunlight?"
Yeah, ऐसा और भी एक story Alexander का in which he came to India and he was told by his teacher, who was the teacher? He was a philosopher, right? One of the big ones.
Aristotle.
Yeah. So he said, I heard that there are bodhisattvas in India. Can you bring back one? We will study what that is. So he finds one, like a yogi, and he says that you have to come back with me. Bolta, why? Bolta, I am Alexander the Great. So this guy starts laughing. Bolta, ऐसा खुद को great कौन बोलता है? तो बोलते हैं,
It sounds like an Andy Regu joke.
तो उसको बोलता है, खुद को ग्रेट कौन बोलता है? ऐसा था, ये बड़ा ज्यादा बोलता है, यू कैन नॉट से नो टू मी. बोलता है, क्या कर लेगा? मार देगा ना, मार दे, मेरे को फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. तो इसका तो पड़ गया, क्योंकि ये नेवर सीन अ गाय लाइक दैट. सो बट देन अगेन दीस आर ऑल स्टोरीज. Alex did not have time, dude. He had to conquer the whole world.
Yeah, dude.
He died at what, 27, like all rock stars.
33, I think.
Oh, they're not a rock star, almost a rock star.
Yes, I think 30 something he died.
Yeah, 27 is the magic number.
Dude, I was thinking about this the other day. Sorry to digress from philosophy memes into actual philosophy. But I was thinking about this the other day. The reason why the 27 club is so fetid, right? And those people who died at that young age, who were all these killer musicians, became like legends. One of the reasons is because unfulfilled potential is always perfect.
Yeah. Yep.
So you can you can like create this imaginary trajectory of their career, and it'll just be beautiful because it's all in your mind, right? But if it was real, then they would have had that middle period dip, then trying to keep up with times, then reduced to making reels. Who wants to see that stuff?
And an odd Me Too also for good measure.
Yeah, who wants to see that stuff? Right? Like it's happened with Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Like Cristiano and Messi and all these people. Like it's that dip that's going to happen inevitably, and that's the thing, right?
That's one of the rare guys who played it right was Federer. Like he bowed out respectfully. Last few years might have felt like a drag, but he was still so good for his age.
Yeah. So for example, like the other thing about Federer was just the acceptance of mortality, right? So when he signed off, he had put this one Instagram post, and in that he wrote, "Last Wimbledon lost, last Laver Cup lost, last match lost, last this thing lost. Didn't end the way I wanted it to, but it's fine."
Yeah, what is greed? No, like you will not quit when you're on the top. You want to scrape through for one more something.
Yeah, I was on this thing about it. Like what I felt was that as long as the person is getting personal satisfaction, right? Like, and that's why everyone got into it for that reason. Like like everything you do. I mean, especially if it's something that you love doing, which is patently what all of these people. It is with all of these people, right? Like they love doing this stuff. If you got into it because you loved it, why stop just because other people feel like you should?
Sure. And you're still more entertaining than, I guess, a random person. So why not? But like on the Joe Rogan podcast, they were discussing about steroids. No? Because that guy Liver King got found out recently. I mean, he admitted that he took steroids. They're talking about other celebrities, and The Rock came up, and he's got all these big movies riding on his back. And you see him in his 50s now, he's more jacked than he was in his 30s, like 20 years back in wrestling. And then in interview, he's like, no, I am now aiming for longevity. Dude, Ghanta, look at you, you're going to die in 10 years. Because you look like an alien.
Dude, he looks like a tractor at this point.
Yeah. And the movies are all shit, dude. Like Black Adam, तो वो उसका promo देख के मन नहीं करता देखने का.
Yeah.
So, all right, next meme coming up. Let's just take a look at the chat quickly. We have 50 people who joined in now. If you guys have not hit the like button yet, please do so now. CR क्या था? CRBF नहीं, CRBR.
CFBR.
Sorry. Uncle को माफ करना. CFBR it is. All right, next meme coming up. एक मिनट.
That's a great point.
No, but when we are talking, that time I think you should close the screen share. All right, here we go. This is from The Office. When you transcend duality and no longer see life as good versus evil, and Michael Scott is saying, I just hope both teams have.
Hilarious.
Dude, what do you make of this duality thing? Everybody talks about it because हम लोग ने अभी पढ़ लिया कृष्णमूर्ति वगैरह, and but they're still stuck in their flats जिसका EMI due है. तो वो लोग सिर्फ आपस में बात करता है duality का. Next दिन काम पे जाना पड़ता है.
Yeah, and I feel like I mean the duality. Yeah, I mean, like the point is that, right? Like there's a lot of stuff that is worth inspection, and upon inspection, you will find out that it doesn't hold the intrinsic value that you thought it did. Right? That's what essentially it comes down to, right? Like a lot of stuff that we have is make believe, right? It's that this is the way to live and there is no other way. Like, for example, this was a very interesting thing. So Voltaire used to have this. He was a French philosopher, essayist, writer, etc. He used to have this notebook where he used to just keep note of curiosities, okay, from around the world. So, and what he realized essentially was that everything that was considered immoral in his culture, in some culture, was considered the right thing to do. So, his most extreme example was, he says that in France, cannibalism, and most places in the world, including everywhere and at all times, most places, cannibalism is considered bad.
Yeah.
However, there was this one clan of warriors who, after they used to kill the opponents, they used to eat them out of respect. So he's like, I feel like that's pretty noble.
Oh man.
So essentially, that's what the same realization, right? Like, even the most reprehensible things have some kind of logic for somebody, right? Like it's that thing, and the most you can do is be open minded. Of course, like there is one caveat to it, that if everyone behaves selfishly, it's going to be overall a pretty shit world, right? Like if everyone just behaves in self interest, then you're going to have a pretty miserable world. So,
which is what happens anyway. But that is still a more sort of Western subjective reading of it. Like, no, non-duality in Eastern terms, like from Advaita to Buddhism, is when your ego dies, right? And your sense of self doesn't exist anymore. So you have the same awareness and consciousness and bodily functions, but you don't identify with your own self as well at all. And then there's no difference between you and the other person, like, and which cannot be sort of explained in words completely, but can only be experienced.
Oh, you mean like whatever happens after LSD?
Yeah. Yes, but permanent and without having to lick a stamp, basically. So, no, which is what Sadhguru keeps saying. I'm blissed out all the time. So अभी सब लोग पढ़ता है पंटर लोग ये उनको नौकरी में भी जाने का कल तो क्या करे यार.
Yeah. I mean, so there is that thing, na? So there is this thing that Nietzsche had come up with, where he's creating like these. He basically made a metaphor out of this about the three animals, the three stages of life that you go through,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So the camel stage, the lion stage, and the child stage.
Yeah.
So most lives are stuck in that camel stage, where you are the beast of burden. You are laden with the responsibilities of society, and you have to go through a arid desert carrying all these burdens.
Yes, also known as Panvel. But
So yeah, so it's interesting, and then you progress through that. Very few, like, you don't. The lion stage is where you question the duality, and the child stage is where you go past it to create your own values. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't think that's not a fun. That's not a fun way of forming government policy, is what I'm saying.
But while we are on the topic, also, dude, the thumbnail for today has been designed by our very own Desi Jamie. Did you see it?
Yeah, it was hilarious. Truly, I saw the last one also, where Akash Mehta was on, where and it captured my emotions perfectly.
And Mehta was like, yeah, मेरे को तुम लोग ये सब पकड़ा दिया रिलेशनशिप, मेरे को भी आता है फिलोसॉफी, मैं भी पढ़ाई करता है, मेरे को बुलाओ ना फिलोसॉफी. All right, we'll go to the next one. Here it is. Okay. Rare picture of men discovering fire. Okay. And why the fuck is Anu Malik there?
Hey, Punit, just give me 1 second. My doorbell has rung and there's no
Okay.
one. Just give me half a second.
Yeah. Okay. Is this reference, Jamie, to that song "मैं fire wire" वो वाला है क्या?
नहीं, this is a
Is that
reference
the
to
point?
Indian Idol.
तो फिर फायर किधर से आया उसमें?
अरे वो हर एक को बोलता है तू आग लगा देगा, तू आग लगा देगा, ऐसा सब.
अरे. Is he still in Indian Idol? अभी भी है क्या वो?
तू आग लगा देगा.
तू आग लगा देगा.
I don't, does this classify as philosophy memes or is it just Anu Malik memes?
Maybe Anu Malik is a philosopher that we need and we don't deserve.
I fully concur with this idea that, like, if you really look at the philosophy of Anu Malik, right, like, what is creativity if not taking something from someone else and modifying it?
Yes.
So why call it plagiarism when it is
ऊंची है building lift तेरी बंद है. High philosophy.
correct?
All right, next meme. Of course.
Best
Of
one
course,
yet.
I'm also been told that the pose that you're striking here is like the pose of choice for Japanese nymphets.
Is it? I have basically, like, I think, I used to have like only about 10 or 15 cool things that I could do in pictures. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I was in college, I used to have like 10 poses that I would strike when I used to take pictures so that I would look cool on Facebook. Over time, it has been reduced to 3. This is one of them. This is the other one, which I've stopped. Like, it's a little less now, I do. But I think with time, and then you just become that uncle in the Fufaji in the photo who's just...
Yeah, always. Do you also have a preferred angle like girls do?
I've something. I wish I took more photos to know it, but I can't stand the sight of my own face.
But now AI can do it for you. You know that new trend that is going on where your pictures get touched up.
Oh fuck, Punit, we should.
That?
Yeah, we should do one whole separate stream on AI. It'll be very fun because I think it was for me watching Chat GPT come around was like. It was like being an astronomer and seeing the moon landing. Like, it felt like we had broken some serious ground, and it's going to be very fascinating too. The implications of AI on so many things. Like, what is art something uniquely human? Where does where does copyright stand when machines create art? Is it the person who's inputted the thing? Is it the machine? Is it where the machine sourced the thing from? Where does copyright lie? Is there something, like, if you cannot tell that something was created by a machine or a human, then what does it say about that unique human soul and all of that stuff that we talk about, right?
Yeah. It's that example in Sapiens, right? Where a composer, he did 3 different compositions, one by a machine, one random, and one human. And people are asked to tell by listening, and they couldn't.
They couldn't tell, yeah. I sometimes, like, that's the thing. Like, I sometimes look at the artwork that AI has created, and it feels just as quirky, human, creative, and soulful as anything that anyone else creates. And that's the thing that is bothering artists, by the way, is the fact there's 2 things, right? So one big one was that AI has been trained, like the machines have been trained using the artwork of like artists, existing artists.
Yeah.
So their styles have been inputted, and it just is able to deconstruct decades worth of honing and experience down to like its basics in seconds, right? And then replicate it for your Insta post or whatever the fuck. So now, so it's doing that. So it's stealing. Now, the second thing it does is that it's honestly going to put artists out of work. So it's an existential threat on a level that I think the art world didn't anticipate, because we felt that when when automation would happen, we'd be the last to be hit by it.
Yeah.
But
I have a joke on that, in fact. Stand-up will be the last to get automated. That's why I'm doing it.
yeah, and Punit, we're about 3 weeks away.
But if you go by the Seinfeld script that some AI wrote, it was bullshit, dude.
No, so by the way, it spits out stand up also now, the Chat
Yeah.
GPT. So you can
Yeah.
ask it, give me whatever a joke on
Yeah.
coffee, and it'll write you a joke. What's interesting about it is that it's able to mimic what a joke is.
Yeah.
Right? It still won't give you personality and all of that stuff, but I mean, we're not very far. And think about this. Like, what I think about is that we're watching it in 2-3 weeks of its launch. Extrapolate this to 10 years, and
5
then you're
years, 10
finished.
years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's over.
Yeah.
It's a
But
Pandora's box, and we've opened it. So well done.
dude, in a way, observational comedy has already been automated by the
Yeah.
influencers because that's all they do.
Yeah.
आपने देखा है ब्रेड में कैसा ऐसा होता है, आपने देखा है मैगी कैसा ऐसा होता है, and there are thousands of them doing it. Out of the thousands, 10 are good at it, and then your jokes are done already. Now the same
Yeah.
thing you end up saying with a mic in your hand makes no difference.
Yeah.
So already the aggregate is pushing you out anyway.
Yeah.
See, I think storytelling and personal trauma is all you got left.
Absolutely.
You think people will go through courses of personal trauma? Like, just give me some trauma, otherwise I'm not standing out.
Yeah. No, I think what will happen is people will start making stuff up. Because who can tell, yaar? Who is out there?
Yeah.
Fact checking your trauma.
With enough reels, you can mimic it. Become a meme yourself.
So that's one. By the way, Punit, there was a fun thing I came across today. Okay. So I came across this thing on the internet where someone was offering a course to learn how to become a motivational speaker.
We reached motivation singularity, dude. This is it.
Yeah.
Point. Oh God.
तो उधर तू सोच ना उसका सिलेबस क्या होगा.
Oh shit.
Remind people. तो चूतिया हो.
Oh God. So insidious, dude. Before we move on to the next meme, I think, dude, time is ripe for us to finally launch Thought Bubble, the two of us. If people want to see a short run series with me and Kautuk, largely doing what we are doing right now, which is any phone call that we are on, they happen to be listening right now. then please comment CFBR in the chat right now. All right, next meme coming up.
Hellenistic philosophy summarized. Epicureans, Stoics, skeptics roasting them both. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so old. I don't even know this reference. Kaun sa hai ye? This is
no, I saw this.
This is WandaVision.
WandaVision.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's okay. Dude, would you mind describing this for our listeners?
So basically, it says Hellenistic philosophy summarized, and there's the first picture is of Wanda going to battle with Vision.
Yeah.
And it says Epicureans on Wanda and Stoics on Vision. And then below it, you see Agatha Harkness, who is sitting and watching them, saying, and it says skeptics roasting them both. Skeptics were the first people who went beyond those binaries of good and evil and all that stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
So
but they would be called too negative in today's world.
No, so yeah. So what was interesting was, so I was reading this excellent book, by the way. It's called How to Live, a biography of Michel de Montaigne, where it answers that question, and it tries to answer that question in 20 different ways through a biography of Montaigne's life. So Michel de Montaigne was a French essayist, and his main most famous book is called Essays, and he was a skeptic.
Yeah.
And the thing that bothered people about essays, okay, so it's the most craziest thing. So, the thing about skepticism is that you just have to ask. Don't take anything for granted. Ask questions of everything.
There's too much to ask from people, but yeah.
Yeah. So what bothered people is that if you ask questions of everything, then you do not have faith. And in the absence of faith, you become nihilistic.
Yeah.
Because then you realize that not many things have meaning, right? Essentially, that's the conclusion you come to.
Nothing does, yeah.
So,
how do you stay happy yourself then?
Precisely. So, which is what it bothered people to the core. So his book has gone through this whole thing where it became massively popular. Then there was a whole century worth of backlash because people were like, "Arey, ye pagal aadmi questions puch raha hai." So then it got suppressed, and
Was
then it made a
powerful?
resurgence.
It's that powerful.
And the crazy thing is, it's not even. He was trying to be conservative.
By what standards? But
that's the interesting thing. So he was trying to be conservative for his time, but the times became more puritanical, so therefore the book got suppressed. So a century after his death. So it's very interesting how like those things happen, where the things that we take for granted are so volatile, and everything just changes. The views on things change so quickly.
This is a very long-term game, but we are playing it for the trending reels. कैसा होएगा?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I think we got 10-15 people saying CFBR already. So, dude, I guess this means this is enough for us. 10 people saying it.
But no, wait, Punit. Out of the 20 people, it's actually one person saying it 10 times.
नहीं मैं देखा at least 5 लोग अलग-अलग है. And also, if you're watching the stream right now and haven't liked it yet, please do so that we can reach more people. Time is running out. Kautuk has a deadline, and we have more memes to go. So let's go. The next one is okay. of course, Niche has made an up. I'm not.
Perfect.
Oh man.
Punit, have you seen this movie?
No, which one is this?
This is Monty Python's Life of Brian.
Life of Brian. Right. But I think this is not our area now. Like our Jamie has to tell us like ये क्या 16-year-old लोग भी follow करते हैं क्या नीचे को?
मैंने 2 हफ्ते पहले अपने जिम में सुना एक बंदी को नीचे का कोट मारते हुए, वो भी निश्चय बोल के कि निश्चय ने कहा था.
Listen, I didn't think that you could improve on his philosophy, but calling him Nischay is definitely an improvement. That is definitely an improvement.
Oh shit! This is the layers to this anecdote. Gym में लड़की ने बोला.
Also tier 2.
हाँ, वो भी tier 2 में. We can't reveal his location for security reasons, but fairly tier 2 town. और क्या कौन सा कोर्ट याद है वो?
That's it, man. Punit, this is it. I am forever going to call Nichi Nischay from now on. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck.
अरे निश्चय भाव ने काय सांगितले सांगा?
वो कोट I think वो वाला था कि
Let me guess. Boga, was it what doesn't kill me makes me stronger?
नहीं वो वाला था कि
it can't be. I'm just thinking contextually, okay? So that would make sense in a gym. Unlike if you stare into the abyss stares back.
Yeah. That's just the line about power cuts in tier 2 towns.
What was the line? Boga?
वो जो आपने बोला ना, that was, तो वो हमारे जिम के ऐसा फोटो लगा था उसका, ठीक है, वो जिम में लगता है ना, वो लगा था, उसको देख के she was inspired. तो she said वो वाला एक था ना कि झाड़ the tree that would grow to heaven must send its roots to hell. वो वाला कोट मारा ऐसा, और फिर उसके बाद निश्चय बोल दिया तो एकदम ही ऐसा फिनिश पूरा क्रेडिबिलिटी चला गया.
Oh shit, then how come you didn't fall for this girl already? अब बहन जी आपका नैपकिन गिर गया, नहीं बोला तो उनको.
She's a winner, dude. She's a
नहीं, but she was not hot ना, तो ऐसा.
Oh lord. Oh.
निश्चय का पूरा पॉइंट ही मिस कर दिया यार. Come on, Boga.
अरे निश्चय, I can't can you unhear this now? Like निश्चय, dude. Shit.
Nischay it is. It is forever going to be Nischay. It is done. Okay, next.
All right, next. Bertrand Russell, dude, क्या meme है?
Mast.
Righteous cannot be born until self-righteousness is dead. Immanuel Kant, life without reason and morality has no value. Sigmund Freud, your thoughts dwell on your mother. Oh, what escalation.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
I thought it was something like your mother was a hoe or something, but still, this also works.
This is brilliant. This is also, by the way, this is on the Star Wars prequels.
Equals.
He's talking about, he's talking to the man who would become Darth Vader.
So this is an actual line from the movie. Huh?
Yeah,
that makes it the
Dude,
even better meme, dude.
That's the thing. This is the beauty of memes. Right? So I once tweeted this thing out. Ki if you can't meme it, you haven't understood it. Because it just breaks the thing down to its absolute essence. And with a sense of humor and context and reference, it's so complex a thing in one image.
So
Righteousness cannot be born until self-righteousness is dead. What a line. Come on. No, 4,000 retweets.
At least, yes. Meghna has this podcast called Explain Like I'm 10. So in which he explains like complex topics in the simplest way possible. So I did an episode with him on trolls, and who better to have on than Rahul Gandhi. Of course, Rahul cannot reveal his face, no, so it was just like us talking to a thumbnail. But it was fun. But then we spoken about it before on this stream that memes are smarter than they actually are. They look smarter than they are. Because they're an aggregation of so much meaning behind it. So the person finally making or sharing it doesn't really understand, in many cases, what it really means or signifies, where it comes from. But it's an aggregate. No?
Yeah.
So
no, but that's the thing. Like I feel like you, like there's two things about it. One is that sure, you don't understand the full import of the context a lot of times. You understand contextually, ki, this meme means that this person is sad and this person's happy, whatever the fuck. Right? You don't know the source, etc. That's fine. But like what I do feel is that memes are also like one form of like, how do I put it? Like it's a form of forming communities where it's people who understand the meme and people who think it's absolute garbage and chaos. Right? Like if you showed this to, like, okay, this meme is still accessible, but there's a lot of memes where you will not understand it because the meme is so rich in context.
It's codified like to a large, very large. Okay. So then only people who are in the know sort of, it becomes like a secret, secret brotherhood or something. Like, how in China the memes are getting weirder because everything gets censored. So they move on to the next meme.
Yeah.
So even memes get censored there.
Yeah.
So now in the protest, they are holding up empty placards, because everything is censored. And that's such a great way of expressing yourself just by saying nothing. That says a lot, right? There's empty placards everywhere in the protests.
Yeah.
All right, next meme. This is from our friend Beer Biceps. Regular interaction with Bhagwan Krishna. Wow, he's actually saying it, dude. कि वो देखा है regularly. So the comment is, my boy is so open-minded, his brain fell out.
Crazy.
Have you seen any of his thing, dude? Like Beer Biceps? He's
everywhere. I mean, I worked with him a while back, but like that was much before like the podcasting and stuff. So
okay.
But I suspect, like, I guess, there you go, 10 lakh plus views.
1 million views, okay, yeah, man. But this looks like it's on Reddit, right?
Yeah, this is a Reddit thing.
Reddit में कोई उसकी ले रहा है, screenshot डाल के. Yeah.
Now you're also on Reddit, Punit. Come on.
Oh yes. What is our community called, by the way? Jamie. By the way, props to him. He's put together all the memes today.
Yeah, the excellent collection.
Yep.
It's
This
called
guy.
Beyond the Laughs, ऐसा.
So it's called Beyond the Laughs on Reddit. Guys, if you are there, check it out. We'll put the link in the comments.
What a great meme. What a great meme.
This is from the multiverse movie, no?
Yeah,
I
this is
think
the
so.
this is the one.
Yeah.
And look at it's been made by at Osho meme folder.
अरे ये तो अपना कामरा का है ना ये कामरा का
Oh,
पेज है
wonderful.
yeah it's a
Great.
great meme. So because I read both, a lot of it is so similar, no?
Yeah.
And no one can claim that no they created, because wisdom is also like memes. It's an aggregate. Even Osho read stuff and he was poetic in the way he said. Our guy says the exact same thing. Like वो copy करता है. Like you know, Osho has a very popular book called मैं मृत्यु सिखाता हूँ. No, I teach death. Our guy also wrote a book on death in his own way, but वो सब step by step, except the orgies, वो सब copy कर रहा है. And I guess it's too soon to call it anyway. So I've been to his
Osho ashram.
Osho ashram. I've been once just for for the day. The real action is in the evening, no, when the chanting starts. But I had a show that time, so I had to leave. And if you want to stay more than a day there, you have to take a HIV test that tells you everything about the place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have to do a
Still?
do a blood. Yeah. If you
So the orgies are still going on. Is that what's happening?
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I've not heard from a first-hand report, but for sure there are men trying to go there just for that, you know. And and they have to filter it somehow, no. I mean, you can tell that what they really want to do is not allow Indians, but that look bad, you know. That's what they really want to do. So they outprice it. That's one way to do it. Like, no, it's all expensive. Like they have a kitchen and a good canteen, but it's all fucking expensive inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you will still find some hipsters, you know, who's trying the luck inside. And
what a small Venn diagram that is, of spiritual also, but sexy time also.
Yeah. And Sadhguru's ashram also I've been for a couple of days. I mean, I don't know if you can call it an ashram. It's more of a retreat than an ashram. It's nicely done. Like it has an earthen feel to it, but it's I don't know how to put it. I think he has 3 great systems of living there. So expense wise.
Oh yeah.
And yeah. So you can stay there, but you have to book a room, no? So it costs money. And the
so like there's a executive suite, and then there's like that. Oh, very interesting.
So I took the cheapest one. It was also nice, like no one room, all very simple, well equipped but simple. And I don't remember the rate, but it was something like 1,500-1,700 a day, which is reasonable. I mean, I don't know. It's a matter of where you are in life. 1,700 was the slowest, and everything was booked out. Like I just about got through. The meals are free, so he had 2 meals in the day.
That's pretty good, yeah, for 1,700.
No, those are 2 meals in the day. So if you follow his life cycle, which is like wake up before sunrise, and then sleep as soon as the sun goes down, because the timings were something like 9:30 and 4:30, 5:30. They are the 2 timings. They are having dinner at like 4:35. No, then you cannot stay up too long.
So you're getting breakfast and you're getting
it's two big meals basically. And anybody who's even come to visit and he happens to be there at that time, he can also have the meal for free. But obviously, most of the clientele is upscale, so they have kept a canteen also. इसमें सब मिलता है, cake, wake, tea, coffee सब मिलता है, veg only, but मिलता है, because he himself says कि चाय कॉफी भी नहीं पीना चाहिए ideally. So but then ठीक है, I guess it's practical that way, and all very grand and nicely done inside everything. So one day I woke up in the middle of the night. I thought I'll just go out and see the stars, because you don't get to see any stars in the city. And this is really on the outskirts, so I thought you can get to see a good night sky. I wake up dead in the middle of the night. It's like 3 or something, right? And I go out, and there's suddenly like 200 people all standing in like 3 files of lines, and they're all like topless men. I mean, topless तो नहीं, पर जो भी लुंगी पहन के खड़ा है, and they're chanting something. Fuck, क्या हो रहा है? I didn't know there are this many people living here also, because I hadn't seen that many throughout the day. And suddenly at night, then I asked somebody, they said that they are here for a particular course. And उसमें midnight meditation का एक session है special, तो उसके लिए हम लोग उठाए.
Wow.
Yeah. So he has that, no, and we are going a little off topic, but might as well just finish this last anecdote. He has this one huge dome in which he's kept a huge Shivlinga, which he claims is the first in some 5-7 centuries to be made in that particular size and whatever, like Vastu is involved in it. Basically, it is consecrated in a way in which it has some energy, whatever that means. So, and he designed the whole thing in keeping with whatever the scriptures say. So and around that dome, no, inside there are chambers, like no, not chambers, but like dugouts in the wall. You can go there, you can sit inside and meditate there.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
which is like perhaps the most conducive way to do it if you want to. Right? I did it for some time, but in the course, no, he what he says is that there is a certain way in which he'll make you meditate there, in which for a few seconds, no, you will feel an out of body kind of an experience.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Man, if you could get that in $1,700.
Yes, plus GST.
And room service.
And no refunds. Then and he claims that he's doing it not because he wants to, but because he wants to get you hooked. So once you see the results, then you will come for the bigger courses. It was a nice visit. I just had time, so I went there.
Which city was this?
This is Coimbatore. That is his home ground. Coimbatore. Yeah. Locals don't like him there, but ठीक है, अभी तो internet का ज़माना है. World likes him. So I thought I'll just get away from everything for a few days. I'm going inside at the gate only. The guy checking, "Arey, Punit sir, I have seen your comedy." I'm like, "Idhar nahi yaar." But this was before the Sadhguru jokes were out. But I think utna wo log ऐसा कुछ. I get some hate for it, but not a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, कुछ लोग है ना, like the 16-year-olds that you saw in the previous meme. ऐसा इसका भी है ना, there are stands, Sadhguru stands.
Yeah.
They're usually all single men, like Jordan Peterson types. All right, next meme. This is a very good one from Osho meme folder. You can check it out on Instagram if you want. Off repeated meme template of war. First slate is, how do we know if they're actually dead or just pretending? Second guy says Sadhguru is enlightened. And this is also an Osho meme folder. Okay, now you can see the pattern basically.
Yeah.
Dude, the question is that if you are enlightened in the way you claim you are, then you wouldn't be doing all this, right? Like doing videos and amassing followers and building stuff.
No. But the crazy thing is that a lot of the meta narrative is lost on people. A lot of meta narrative is lost because, like, for example, here's the thing, right? I'd gone out to eat dinner with Siddhi. And while we were coming back, we saw a hoarding for an astrologer.
Wait, you had to start by saying Siddhi and I.
Oh yeah, sorry. So Siddhi and I were out for dinner. And you see this big hoarding for an astrologer, right? Yeah. Now, the question I was asking was that, like, the people who will come to this astrologer after seeing this hoarding, does it not occur to them to ask that, hey, if you're an astrologer, why do you need to advertise? खुद का देख ना थोड़ा और पैसा छाप ना, क्या कर रहा है?
Yeah, go into the equity market, like predict the Bitcoin.
Yeah, but like that sort of meta narrative is usually lost on public. Like, I mean, not on everybody, but like on most people. And I think like it's the same thing, right? Like if you're enlightened, why would you do this? Why would you chase status and things like that? And the answer usually is this. It's very similar to what the astrologer says. They are doing it out of altruism to benefit others.
Yeah.
And such like. So there's always like a reason and a logic to it, but it's flimsy, but it exists.
So the Buddhist tradition says that there are levels of enlightenment, but all the Buddhas from all the ages, they will not go to the final heaven till every last soul is also freed from the circle of life and death.
Yeah, yeah.
So they keep coming back. So I guess if they come back in today's world, they would have to do memes. Otherwise, public sunega nahi uska.
Arey, the Dalai Lama is excellent on Twitter.
Yeah.
Truly, not even kidding. It's very, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. Like every day there's one new thought in 280 characters. That's what you want.
So Krishnamurti was quite open about this, and because he would subject everything to analysis, which is an intellectual threadbare analysis, and no, like almost like a razor cutting through everything. So he said, if I cut through everything and if I look at my own self, no, why do I continue to do lectures and talk and like do what I'm doing despite renouncing everything else? I guess the answer is I like talking to people. I like giving speeches. That you cannot deny.
Hmm.
You get something out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
So the-
I think like that's the thing. Like I mean, like hypocrisy. If that's the like, I always think about that. Like hypocrisy is the least crime to be accused of, and that's good enough. Like, chalega.
I had once written that after genetics and psychology explains all bad behavior, right? Eventually, you'll have not an excuse but an explanation for all psychosis and even like serial killers and psychopaths. And the only sin left will be hypocrisy.
And that is also excusable through acceptance. Because like that's the truth of the matter, right? Like that we are all contradictions, and it's in fact the more contradictions there are, the more interesting you become. Like for example, Salman is such an enigma because of his contradictions, right? He's a bad boy, but he also is very charitable. He's a,
He's a virgin, but
he's also got so many girlfriends. He's like he's a walking contradiction. It's a beautiful thing, which is
But
what
you think the Bhai fans like him for the contradiction or just because he's Bhai? Like what?
I didn't know, because on an elemental level, like sure, all of that is true, but on an elemental level, you cannot figure him out, and that's what makes someone captivating.
This has been a great stream so far. We've gone from Nietzsche to Sadhguru to Salman Bhai in one conversation. Great. We got 20 minutes left. Let's see how many memes we can run through. The next one coming up is this is so simple and yet it's so fucking funny, dude.
So effective.
Me and the boys thinking about it. And the picture is so funny. But that's all it is, right? It's all intellectual masturbation at the end. So, kya karne ka, dude? What is the option? You can't just sit at home.
No, I mean there is no other. Like, so there was one. There's one parable of some kind where, or like there was just a line actually where, it was a criticism of philosophy, and the line was that there are some people who are so busy looking at the stars that they miss the puddles. It's like they step into the puddles. So
yeah,
that's what it is. Like, there was another perspective on this, like about the fact that like a lot of this kind of like, overthinking of things, right? It's not a conducive way to live. Right, like if you're in the middle of life, I mean, if you want to live life, then thinking about life is very counterintuitive to it. Which is why सोचने का नहीं, कर देने का,
कर देने का, जो लेने का दो लेने का.
Then anxiety happens, Punit. Anxiety if you overthink.
Yeah. Okay, my mom. This is I love this meme. This is hilarious. Call your friend so you can get some fun. Then look at his friend.
Oh my god, this is hilarious.
And at that time, this was the style, right? To get your photo click in the most pensive way possible. Like the entire weight of the world was on your shoulders.
Yeah.
And it quite literally was. So we got Nischay is there.
Nishchay is there?
Nischay looks like he's dead almost in this photograph. And, and this is the German guy, right? Then the top
Schopenhauer.
Schopenhauer, yeah. Is that Rasputin who is the first one, dude?
I think that's Dostoevsky. And the last guy, I think, is Emil Cioran. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Anyone in the chat who's well read enough, let us know who the last person is. In the chat, I think Dysfunctional is saying that this boys always find a way to mention Salman in every stream. Is it like
it's a psychological problem.
understanding
इसका
the
निकलेगा ना थोड़े टाइम में पुनीत Salmonitis.
Salmonella तो है already. Oh, this is a fucking great meme. Fucking hilarious. Let's look at the next one. When you cut yourself with paper, but doesn't react because you choose not.
Choose not to be harmed, you won't feel harmed.
This is like the stonks wala meme, no? But dude, it's like, hey, was it the name of the meme, the template? Jamie, if you're there. Is there a name for this meme template? Like, this is that one, like, where you mispronounce a word, like you understood it, but you not really understood it. That's what it means, right?
नहीं ये it's just वो strong guy बस.
Strong guy. He's a strong guy. Okay. Dude, stoicism is become like a thing. No? Now it's almost become like jogging and meditation now. People are sort of consuming it like a product now.
Yes. Everything will be commodified eventually.
There is a YouTube channel called The Daily Stoic. He had come on Joe Rogan once, the guy.
Yeah, there's one. I think is it the same guy? The guy Ryan Holiday?
I think so.
Because there's one guy. Yeah, he's you just keep mining these, and then you make it into those YouTubeable formats, right?
YouTubeable, yes.
7 stoics and stuff that you need to know in.
Also, guys, stoicism has now a new name. It's called being a Sigma male.
Oh, yes.
Sigma boys.
Yes, Sigma boys. And dude, like even the upper caste are using, the Sigma thing, like the trads, the trads, right? So
No, what is this?
Amongst the Indian right wing, there are trads and there are raitas. So
Raitas.
Yeah. So trads is short for traditional. Okay. These are the guys who are so right wing they think Modi is liberal. And they think even RSS is no good. They're not doing enough to suppress minorities.
Oh no.
And they tend to be mostly like upper caste and virulently upper caste. Like so there are young people who obviously they are well off not to be able to do all this bullshit, who will flaunt their caste, especially the upper caste, and they reinforce all these things. I'll marry into my community. I will produce more children. Purity of race. Yes. So and they are trads, and they also use memes because why not? No. So they often use the Sigma male template to show that we are superior. There you go. There is no like you feel that internet and technology will free us, but it's being used by everybody, like on all sides for all kinds of.
It'll repackage the same reality and bring it back to you.
Yeah. And the raitas are the people who are still right wing, but they are not saying कि मारो सब लोग को basically ऐसा. So they are called raitas. और इनका आपस में चलता रहता है infighting and conspiracy theories.
Oh man.
So apparently that there was this whole controversy about Sulli deals where there was an app that was auctioning of Muslim women and their photographs. So that was like largely supported by trads. That's the kind of India they want to see.
Oh boy.
And they are also Sigmas apparently. Someone was saying Modi ji is the ultimate Sigma. Like, yeah. All right, next one. So I guess that's the Sigma on the left. Dad, why am I named Rose? Girl is asking. Dad says, when you were young, a rose fell on your head. Second
Wow.
daughter, Dad, why am I named Daisy? Father said, when you were a young Daisy, you were young, a daisy fell on your head. Okay. Third is like some character asking, Jordan Peterson is the most important in the 21st century.
Oh.
Such
Dude,
a
even-
divisive figure, no? Jordan Peterson.
You know, the thing is, like, he's come back on Twitter, no, and just like he's become so much more bitter of late. Like, he was always attacking the left and all of that, but now it's just that you don't even get the "you are a lobster, clean your room."
You're a lobster, clean your room. Wow.
You don't get any of that stuff, man.
He
Those are the
went,
good
through
old
a,
days.
he went through a lot of bullshit. Like his wife was diagnosed with a terminal illness, and you know the story, right? And he got addicted to the benzodiazepines he was on for his anxiety.
Oh man.
So when they withdrew it, he went into like no, he had withdrawal symptoms. So he was off everything and the internet for a year. Then he came back. But have you seen people who imitate him like this? Like it's a proper genre of
Yeah?
content. So it's like a guy will try to talk like him. Like before answering, he will say, "Before I answer that question, let me ask you, what does what mean?" Let's be serious about this. If you're asking questions, no, this is not laughing matters. And then you'll talk about everything other than the actual answer.
But this is a parody, or this is a serious
it's-
person trying to have a serious conversation?
No, it's a parody. A lot of
Oh,
people do
okay,
it now
hilarious.
because he is that big now. So
Yeah.
And
There's
one
is
person
like-
does it seriously, which is Andrew Tate. Guys, come on.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh yes. So our man Jamie thinks that Andrew Tate is Peterson light, or vice versa.
Sure. Yeah, it's Peterson with more swag
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
less
And it's
Less lobster.
it's Jordan Peterson and Hindustani भाव का बच्चा है ऐसा.
yeah. That's
100%
a perfect summation.
Or you could say that Tate is a Muslim Peterson because he's joined. You know, he's Muslim now.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, Tate is accepted Islam because he said God should be one that you fear and who punishes. Otherwise, what is the point?
Oh my god.
Yes.
अरे वैसा आपको टेट का स्कीम पता है कि नहीं कि क्या स्कीम चल रहा है टेट का?
हाँ, क्या है नया मार्केट में बताओ?
अरे मार्केट में नहीं आपको so there's a reason why Andrew Tate is being seen everywhere, right? कि वो क्या करता है ऑनलाइन ऐसा स्कीम बेचता है अपना which is courses बोलता है बच्चे लोग को कि ये लो मेरा कोर्स खरीद लो आप ऐसा अल्फा बन जाओगे सिग्मा बन जाओगे whatever the stuff, right?
अल्फा बनने का कोर्स है. What does he call it? Like what does it? It cannot be said called कि अल्फा बन जाओ, right?
नहीं
तो फिर
हाँ कुछ तो है मेरे को भी नहीं पता ठीक है. And now when you when you
You see,
register on it,
people will buy it if you just said Alpha Male University. Khatam.
oh shit.
People will sign up for it, dude.
Oh man. The sucker born every minute.
हाँ तो उस पे कहता है कि यू रजिस्टर ऑन इट ऐसा 13 साल का बच्चा आपको सिखाएगा सब कुछ ठीक है जो भी आपको बनना है टू बिकम अ स्टड ठीक है. एंड देन व्हाट दे विल डू इज कि प्लेसमेंट के नाम पे ना दे विल टेल यू कि आप ना एक एंड्रॉइड डेट का वीडियो या फिर फोटो अपने सोशल्स पे पोस्ट करो और आपको हम $5 देंगे. दैट्स द रीजन व्हाई.
Really?
Wow.
But isn't that expensive for him? Like one post at a time.
No, but he's also taking money from these people, no?
This is so disappointing. We have about 5 minutes to go. Let's see how many more memes we can do with our guest Kautuk. Let's see. Okay. This is I think this is your expertise is required here. I can't even pronounce the name.
So
Jean.
this is, I'm going to do my best guess, but it's Jean-Jacques Rousseau.
Roger.
Rousseau. So the social contract, I think that's the book. No, wait. So I'm thinking of education, but yeah. So basically, it's his philosophy, and I think it's his autobiography.
ये वो वाला है, वो फ्रेंच रेवोल्यूशन में आया था ना कि ऐसा
अच्छा
करेंगे वैसा करेंगे, दुनिया फाड़ देंगे,
हाँ
हम प्रोलिटारिएट नहीं, ऐसा सब।
मुंबई इंडियंस ना लोहा गला देंगे दुनिया हिला देंगे अच्छा इन कन्फेशंस इज गे और समथिंग
No, no, I
कन्फेशन
think it's
उसका
just,
बायोग्राफी है।
yeah, it's just his. Huh. Yes?
oh this is a very niche or a very niche meme
Mm.
this is applause worthy
Woo.
uh,
Yes.
yes very nice
Correct. 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 This is
so
why there are such few nihilists.
yeah or at least openly so
You know,
so
the best kind of nihilists are the ones that don't know it.
uh,
Who just live their values as if it were a feeling.
या सब स्कैम है यार सब चोर है चल बस उतना
Yeah. Yeah.
उसके उसके आगे नहीं so this is a squid game meme template which is so widely used it can be used anywhere like as far as 2 days back Modi ji against Pakistan Modi ji against China it just applies perfectly well
This is
but
great.
we was talking about skepticism earlier would you describe yourself as a skeptic if at all
Yeah. I mean,
yeah
I would like to be a skeptic. I don't think I'm fully a skeptic, but
you're not there yet. Okay
I would like to be a skeptic. Like it like especially after reading that Montaigne book, it felt like the so another thing about skepticism was it. I think I was talking to you about this, Punit. Ki like it solved one thing that I was dealing with myself, which was that this like this sort of like what it does is it kind of like you don't have to skepticism also does this thing where it questions both sides of a thing where I always felt like I never had any kind of like extreme opinion on anything. And it always used to bother me because what I generally experienced was that people
yeah they
had
feel
very strong
strongly
opinions on
yeah
everything, and it felt like it was an
I'm missing
anomaly
out
on.
something
Yeah, I was like, man, why is it that I can't feel for anything as like so with such conviction that I would give up everything for that one.
Yeah.
But what I realized was it gave me a lot of comfort in reading that and realizing that part of being skeptical is understanding that uh, reality is probably closest to a median, right? And strong points of view tend to be lopsided just because. And so it was just interesting and soothing to realize that it's all right, and it's fine, like it's good to just to have like a sort of reasonable opinion on most things.
Yeah, not to revere anything.
Yeah.
I strongly feel that nothing can defy the laws of physics. It's just that you don't understand something yet with your current level of knowledge and technology. You will get there. In whatever in time you will get there. There is a publication called the Skeptic, right? And उसका editor आता है कभी कभी जो रोगन पे, and it's so refreshing to hear him like all those even the UFO photographs, the recent discoveries, and even with the government admitting it, बोलता है ठीक है we don't understand it, but it doesn't mean that it is green little people. No.
Yeah. I what I suspect is that when we find alien life, it'll be phenomenally underwhelming because our expectations have been set by Steven Spielberg,
Yes.
who is a master in the craft of visualization.
Yeah.
And when you'll actually see reality, it'll be one aisa amoeba-like microscopic chutia.
Yeah. And why should it look anything like what we imagine it to be? It could be in a different everything. All right, last meme before we let you go. Just we'll take a look at the chat once before you go.
वैसे
Yeah.
दो ही मीम और है तो can just
कर
do
दे
Okay,
दे.
so then let's blitz. Yeah, let's blitz it.
Let's do it quick. Okay, cool. All right, let's do it quickly. Coming up next.
Wait, it's not a.
Can you see it?
Top class.
Oh wow, yeah, this is top of the shelf, dude. This is so
Yeah.
funny. That one fish who wanted to look cool and decided to walk out of water. Of course, that's not how it happened, but sure, it's so funny.
Dude, you know something? Like, there is something very deep, like a very deep rooted feeling at the bottom of this meme.
Uh,
And that feeling is that, like, and I get this feeling a lot because I have a cat in my life.
yeah,
That feeling is that my cat is one with nature and one with her being
yeah,
and doesn't have to think about
yeah. Anything.
anything. Right?
Anything,
It comes fully equipped, doesn't have to learn anything, doesn't have to
Yeah,
do anything.
yeah.
Just live life to its conclusion, and then it's over. Doesn't believe in any cat god that we at least
Yeah.
outwardly know of.
Yeah.
Doesn't believe in cat government. Doesn't believe in anything. Just
Nothing. Yeah.
living in the moment.
Yeah, not even Nischay.
Not even Nishchay. So like there's some that it's that feeling of how turbulent life is as a human being because we've gone past the food chain.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
once you enter, you enter philosophy.
Yeah, this is also about consciousness, no? The
Yeah.
subjective, which even they might have. Some animals do have something close to subjective consciousness, but then we also have learning, which animals don't seem to. Although
We have culture.
we have culture, which is culture largely means item numbers.
Yes.
So, all right, last meme coming up. Indian philosophers. Hello, why are you?
Sab Moh Maya hai. Bro, by the way, Punit, Sab Moh Maya hai is such a beautiful what Sab Moh Maya hai. 4-word explanation of everything. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah. And in a way, I wrote this once that the metaverse will be Maya on steroids.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. No, everything that is distracting you raised to X.
Yeah.
And it's just never gonna end, dude.
But how arrogant are we as a species that we looked at reality and said, fuck it, we'll do better.
Yeah. Have you read much of Indian philosophy, dude?
No, not as much as I'd like to. I by the way, I got this really nice book. It's called one second. I'll tell you what it's called. It's a very good book. Mukund Rao.
Mukunda Rao. His name sounds familiar.
Yes. It's called India's Greatest Minds.
Okay.
Spiritual masters, philosophers, and so basically it's like almost like a historical so it's called India's Greatest Minds, Spiritual Masters, Philosophers and Reformers by Mukunda Rao.
Very good.
And
crash course almost.
Yeah, it's like a very quick history of all the religious and philosophical thinkers of India. So worth looking into. So I just bought it. So I'm going to now dip into.
And dude, what was that book where you said no? Why tigers don't brush their teeth? Something like that. What was that book called?
Why tigers don't brush their teeth?
Yeah, something like that. They recommended it to me on more than an occasion. So it's like a non-fiction book about, I guess, modern life. Why zebras don't get haircuts? Something like that.
No. It's a book by this biologist called Robert Sapolsky. Okay. He's a neuroscientist and biologist. So his book is called Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers.
Close enough. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, there's another book by him called Behave, which is an excellent book. Excellent book.
What is it on?
So it's basically about the subtitle explains it the best. It says human behavior at its best and worst.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what it's like, why we do it, and like what are some of the quirks and oddities of living like that. So it's a very interesting book. Like there's a bunch of stuff worth talking about in it.
Great. Two good recommendations to end the stream with Kautuk. Thank you, dude, for being here. I'll just take a look at the
Yes.
chat and then before we let you go. So we had quite a few people joining in. Some of the usual people are here, and there are some new ones. If you just joined the stream, do like it before you exit, so that CFBR, is that right? Am I getting it right?
CFBR.
CFBR. All right. All
Comment
right.
for better reach. Come on.
All right. All right.
दोस्तों कमेंट में लोगों ने बोला है वो एंड्रू टेट का इट्स कॉल्ड हसलर्स यूनिवर्सिटी.
Close.
Yeah, why
Close.
not? Why not? So I guess, Kautuk, this means the next time we'll meet, we'll have a proper theme, and we'll do a series quite soon, right?
Yeah. We should talk about AI. In fact, next time it'll be fun.
Yeah, that's great. Let's do AI next time that
Yeah.
you're here. Very soon, do follow Kautuk on his YouTube channel. He's got stand up there, and on this, of course, we'll find him tonight itself, right? You got this tonight.
No. I don't have TIS tonight. I have
4-4 tonight.
No. So we're not streaming, but we're meeting for some secret
okay.
stuff. For
Okay.
For this 18th, there's one show that we're doing in Mumbai. So
the party thing. Something.
yes. So the thing is, it's sold out unfortunately, but I would have plugged it otherwise.
Okay. Take it. Done. Maybe next time. Thank you, dude, for being here. See you soon.
Yes. Milta
Alright,
soon.
alright.
Hey, and also please drop some comments after the video goes live also, because CFB are there also, because it will help spread the word.
Okay. Good point. I shall remind them once I go off. I'll do a few Q&As before I call it a night. All right.
Okay. Chal,
See ya.
Punit, I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks. All right, fellow seekers, I guess is us now, and I'll just take a few Q&As before we call it a night. How did you like the stream so far? Let us know. We try to keep it tighter this time. Also, a subject that we are both very interested in, and by extension, I assume that it would be entertaining for you at least, if not more than that. Any other questions, Jamie, from the chat that I must have missed? My chat देख नहीं रहा था. Video बंद है. अरे. Okay, there it is. All right, guys. Before we end the stream, if you have any questions, any suggestions, anything at all you want to share, now is the time to shoot. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. It will probably be next year now. I'm doing some shows now, and then I'm gonna fuck off for a while. So thank you for being here on the new channel. By the way, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please do that. Also, a new episode coming out probably next week. And also, I intend to do more live streams. Let's see how that goes. Also, thank JB for putting this together. His philosophical memes was largely his idea, and all the collection that you saw today was him. Reddit pay, if you guys are there, I think we took some suggestions from there too, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. All right, great. Zaid this year is asking, doing things for his own sake, can poor people really do it? They don't have that option yet. No, उनका तो जो basic needs ही पूरा कर रहा है पहले, तो for the sake of it आएगा ही नहीं वहाँ पे. So then the question doesn't stand, I guess, if you look at it that way. Gandalf is here. Giant Slayer is here. He's the one who said it's Hustlers University. Wow. This functional is saying don't take Modi's name in vain. Of course. They want a law, right? It's called contempt of Prime Minister. So ये भी आ जाएगा. Great times ahead for our country. Subankar is here. He's saying, is it really possible to get motivated truly by an external stimulus? Good question. I guess then we'll have to go to Peterson way and ask, and what is truly motivated? So yeah, why not? Do people take inspiration all the time, from the weirdest or the most varied of sources, from sportsmen to actors to people who are popular. People are inspired by people they know, right? In the family sometimes, or a friend or somebody in the neighborhood could be someone that you look up to. So why can it not? I think it can definitely be external. Okay, Shubham is suddenly this has got escalated, guys. Shubham has asked, how does one know if he needs a life partner or not? What escalation? Is romance essential to human nature or is just a distraction? Whoa, what a question. Kotuk just missed it by a few minutes. So, this is a great question. The thing is, like Kautuk was saying, it is a largely cultural thing. There's nothing natural or essential about it. No, you have been brought up in a culture that tells you कि हम एक बार जीते हैं, एक बार हिलाते हैं, तो आपको करना पड़ेगा. But if not, then not really. I mean, who doesn't like romance? Like, let me put it that way. But you do need companionship, but it comes with so many caveats that after a point, you will learn that it's better to go at it on your own. And when you are completely independent, like financially to hey, but even as a mature adult, if you're psychologically independent, and then you find someone who is equally psychologically independent, and you still like spending time together, then that's something worth pursuing. Anything other than this is going to be ripe with conflict. And if you get married, then the government gets involved. If you produce a kid, then the responsibility goes beyond yourself and things get fucked tenfold. So, short answer is no, it's not essential. You can live a full life, a productive life without any of this, SRK bullshit. So play it by the ear and know that you're not missing much. Yeah, you're missing some fun time, but you're also missing on a lot of conflict. Nothing is for free. City Bird is saying, great stream, guys. My question is, do you tend to take philosophy more seriously if it's in English or do you consume Hindi, Hindustani, regional language philosophy? That's a great question, City Bird. Thing is that both of us we are English educated and we think in English also. So then English tends to be easier for us, and that by no means that the Western philosophy is like in any way better or more relevant. In fact, if anything, I feel Western philosophy is juvenile compared to Eastern philosophy on most occasions. But then you can also read Eastern philosophy through Osho or through Krishnamurti or through Sadhguru. The language doesn't matter that way. I wish I'm fluent in Hindi, of course, but reading Hindi ka practice chala gaya. It becomes more cumbersome when you read it. Otherwise, I would like to. And maybe I will one day when I retire from everything else. अभी तो time नहीं मिल रहा है basic books पढ़ने का भी. But a great point by City Word. Jarna Patak is saying, please write down the name of the books that we talk about. If anyone in the chat can please do it. Kautuk mentioned two books. One was Great Indian Minds by, क्या नाम था? Do you remember, JB? Mukunda Rao, Great Indian Mind. That was one book. Other book was Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers. The author I forgot, but you can read. I mean, the title should be enough. Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers. And the other book by the same author as the Zebras book was a book simply called Behave, is what Kautuk said. I'm reading a book currently which is called Living with the Himalayan Masters, which is where one yogi has written his own life story or rather episodes from his life when he traveled the entire Himalayas, like all of it. So he went from Kashmir to Uttarakhand to Sikkim to all the northeast states to even Tibet. And there he's met all kinds of yogis from Buddhist to Hindus, if you like to call it that, and also people who are into tantric vidya. And all the stories they are amazing to hear of how those people live and a life of complete obscurity. And you understand a lot about where no the wisdom comes from throughout the years. People like these who've been away from everything else and they are still there. I mean, थोड़ा बहुत बचा है अभी भी, बाकी सब जगह पे हाईवे बन गया, लेकिन जो बचा है वहाँ पे हैं लोग अभी भी. So that's the life is that's the book is called Living with the Himalayan Masters. Thoughts on Nietzsche, Dostoevsky. Dostoevsky is not read enough to make a comment, but Peterson swears by it. If the Russian novels are too depressing, dude, I can't do it. And Nietzsche, yes, but Nietzsche also very difficult to read. Like, the language is. I mean, the guy was insane for sure. Also, it's like, it's German, which has been translated into old English and now into contemporary English. It just becomes very difficult to follow, even for me. So for somebody who doesn't read a lot, it will become very hodgepodge, but it is still worth reading. Maybe you can do it in parts. Okay, Shubham is like, why zebras don't get ulcers? Because they don't eat pizza, dude. It's simple. They eat what they're naturally supposed to and nothing else. So one line answer is that, but the book basically, from what I'm guessing, will be about how a lot of the problems that you face psychologically and physically are the creation of your own modern lifestyle. So it seems like an interesting read. I've been meaning to pick it up. Yeah, Harshil, thank you for the name. The name is Robert Sapolsky. That's the writer. Cool. All right. Chess Time is saying, I always wonder how cults survive. Why are they not demolished fully? Because loneliness due to what else? I mean, there are neo-Nazis across the world. So people want to belong to something, and then eventually you find a niche for yourself or a niche for yourself. Punit is reading क्या लिखा है? Book that seems loosely based on Modi ji's life. Yeah. All right. I think that's all. We'll call it a day. We are still less than 2 hours, right? This is the shortest stream in our history, Jamie.
यस यस बट
All right.
नहीं मतलब हो
हाँ,
जाएगा 15 मिनट्स में 2 आवर्स
हाँ, ठीक है. But if there are no further questions, guys, last call for the questions. Also, a couple of things. Do like the stream if you haven't already. Do share it with people who are also into reading or who are into philosophy or who like the memes said, and do share it if you can with people who you think will like this sort of a thing. Do subscribe to this channel. It's called Beyond the Laughs, this channel where we are on right now. A new video is coming up very soon. And yeah, that's about it. We'll call it a night. Thank you everyone for being here. Okay, one question. Fine. Last question from Gandalf. Do you think being certain that your worldview is the right one leads to a pathway of intolerance? Of course, that is in a way a definition for intolerance, right? But it's very difficult to overcome that, because then if you feel that your worldview is okay, it is whatever it is, and then there's another worldview, and could also be equally correct, then how will you hold on to your worldview with any conviction? So I think it's natural almost to feel that your worldview is the right worldview, but you still stop yourself from acting on it in a fascist way. uh, that should be enough, because I think if you reach a point where you don't hold on to your worldview very strongly, then why have it in the first place? You know, fuck it. Everything is fine. Everything is narrative. No, ethnic cleansing is also a worldview. No, तो वो उनका है, ये हमारा है, तो उनको करने दो ethnic cleansing, कोई बात नहीं. It is their worldview. So you have to take a stance somewhere, knowing that you may not be completely right in the long run. So I think you should hold on to something strongly. Otherwise, you will just drift. There will come a time in your life, if you seek enough, where the world you will not matter anymore. So if it slips away naturally, let it go. But if it doesn't, then don't force it, because it will not work. I hope that is a satisfactory answer. This function is saying good. Okay. Okay. All right. Chess is saying chess time. I am new to the cult thing, but I can't get over the thing that one person can make lakhs or more people do things they think they are right. Dude, that is all of human history. If you read up on any religion, that's what it is. It starts out as a cult and then it goes viral. No, that's all it is. Human behavior, unfortunately. So Shweta is saying, thank you for the time you put in this. I'm very happy to attend the satsang. Thank you, Shweta, for being here. Good to see you again. Zair is saying, thank you, Shivam, thank you, Gandhal, thank you. All right. Thank you for all your thank yous. I do like doing this. It is a bit of an effort, like because we are used to a live audience. This takes more effort, like conveying your emotions over a live stream, but it's also a convenient way to connect with people who are like-minded. So I'll keep doing it as often as I can. I'm not committed to once a week. That's a little too much with my lifestyle. But we will be back soon with another episode with another theme. And in the meanwhile, if you are in Mumbai, come for my shows this weekend. If you are in Bangalore, come for my shows next weekend. And in Jan, I won't be performing much because I need to edit my special. But I will be doing at least one show in Ahmedabad and one show in Pune. So if you are in those cities, watch out. Instagram has all the updates. And I'll see you guys very soon. Oh, fuck, yes. For people who are remote physically or mentally, do come for the last Zoom show of the year. Also, the last time I'm going to be doing No Country for Moderation online. I keep getting messages. People want to cast the show at least online, if not live. Then we pick what we think is the best date possible. 25th December, Christmas Day, Sunday, afternoon 12:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So if you're in India, you have no excuse. And if you're in America, it is Saturday night on Christmas Eve. If you're in Europe, it is Christmas Day morning. So I think we can't do a better time. I hope to get most of you who want to attend the show on that day. Is it possible to put the link in the chat?
हाँ मैं ढूंढ के डालता हूँ.
Okay, we're putting the link in the chat. So this is an online Zoom show. A lot of you would have attended already. So I do the same show I do live. It's difficult to do it online, but I want people who like my work to get the full show. So I deliver the whole fucking show with as much power as I can. And then we also have a Q&A at the end. They tend to be a little longer, these events online, because the speed at which you can deliver online is lesser than what you do in live. And we've been doing it once a month with great response. So I'm sure this will also be a good one. 25th of December, 12:30 p.m. Sunday. No Country for Moderation Zoom show. Link is right. Yeah, there's a link for you guys. Thank you. This functional will meet me in Pune. All right, great. Shweta also is in Pune. Oh yeah, and Reddit. So is the link there? Reddit ka link hai kya? Okay, Reddit ka link is in the pinned comment. Great. I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Good night. Be kind. Okay.